I'm a couple days late to this one because this weekend was hectic. I'm sorry about that. But Cardi B has finally dropped her sophomore album, Am I the Drama? And, well, I guess the answer to that question would be yes. This is Cardi B's first album in 7 years, which is a long time for any artist, but especially someone who is as popular and in demand as Cardi B, and someone who had the rousing success that she had off of her debut album Invasion of Privacy back in 2018. A record that remains polarizing in many circles. Naturally, Cardi B's music is pretty polarizing in and of itself, but that's an album that I still very much enjoy and like going back to this day. That said, I really wasn't sure what to expect going into this album because while Cardi has dropped plenty of singles, the long wait for the album made me unsure what direction it was going to go in. And unfortunately, after listening to it, while I don't think it's a bad project, I do definitely feel a little bit disappointed by it. I mean, Cardi remains a very charismatic rapper, which is something I've always enjoyed about her. Her sheer I don't give a fuck persona and style really shines through in her vocal performances, and that rings true once again here. And even in moments where the production can get a little bit basic, I think Cardi does a great job lifting it with her signature attitude and funny punchlines. Even though that one lyric about wanting to hold his dick while he peed made me want to vomit. And I think the production is fairly diverse, and Cardi goes down enough roads here to make this thing mostly interesting. Sadly, while I like Cardi's performances and I think she was really saying some shit on here, yeah, this thing didn't need to be 23 tracks. I get why she made it long, probably because the wait was so long, but yeah, this thing has too much filler. The first half is loaded with high points, but the record really runs out of steam in the second half, and I think that's because in the first half, Cardi really had a lot to get off her chest, but once she was done, there really wasn't much else to say in the second half. And Cardi does everything in her power to carry it to the finish line, but yeah, long album syndrome really kicked in on this thing. Again, I don't think it's bad, and I do think it has great high points, but I really don't see or hear anything on this record that felt like it needed 7 years to release. This record could have come out 4 or 5 years ago while WAP and Up were making waves, and it probably would have sounded the exact same as it does in its current form. On my rating scale, Cardi B's Am I the Drama is gonna get an okay rating from me. Cut this thing in half and release it 4 or 5 years ago and it would have been a much stronger release. As it is, it's a merely decent but inconsistent project with great highs and equally great lows. Best to just throw the choice cuts into your playlist and leave the rest of the album where it's at.